Well, I've always wanted to review movies for YouTube, so why not start with this one, right? What's up, guys? My name is Chance, and I just saw a movie, and I want to talk about it because it's something I'm waiting for a long time, and that is, as you can tell from the title, Justice League. Yeah, Justice League is a movie that I've been waiting to see for literally for years. Like, I got really excited to know when for the George Miller one that was supposed to come out a few years ago, Justice League Mortal. I was really looking forward to that. Got really sad when it got canned, but hey, now we got a Justice League movie, and I've seen a lot of reactions to this movie. Some of my friends really enjoy it. Some people I know who in the actual critic industry think it's fun, or it's good, or it's okay, or it's bad. One friend of mine said this is not only the best comic movie he's ever seen, that this is the greatest movie he's ever seen, period. And if you're watching this, buddy, you know who you are. And first of all, I will address this. Is this the best movie I've ever seen? Not even close. Is this the best comic book movie of all time? No. But is it the best comic book movie of 2017? Also no. However, is this the best movie of the DC cinematic universe so far? It is still no. So, how is this movie? Okay. Let's start by talking about, first of all, let me say my thoughts on the DCEU in general. Man of Steel, I like that movie a lot. BVS, disappointment in my eyes. Suicide Squad, I can't stand that movie. And Wonder Woman recently this year. I think it's good. I have a few problems with it, but overall, I would say that's a very good film. But as far how does this stack up? Okay, let's go into the story. First of all, this story starts out. It takes place. I'm not sure what the timeline is after Batman Superman, but it takes place a while after that. Superman's gone. Therefore, Steppenwolf is coming over to pretty much take over the world. Yeah, I know. We'll get to that later. Steppenwolf's coming over, and Batman says, "Okay, I gotta get together all of the world's greatest superheroes to fight an onslaught of CG effects." I'm just kidding. All right, so let's talk about what I think worked in this movie. First of all, I really dig the characters. Ben Affleck, I've said, he is one of my favorite cinematic Batmen. I think if given an avenue, he could be the greatest Batman of all time. And that doesn't change here. Like, he owns this role of Bruce Wayne. And that's why when I hear rumors of him wanting to exit the role, I get depressed because I don't want to see this guy go. I want to see him be Batman for at least another 3 or 4 movies. I love Ben Affleck, and I love him in this movie also. Another one I love, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. I think she's really good. She really shown she's a bigger badass in this movie than she was in Wonder Woman, which is to be expected because you're jumping in time a lot. She probably learned some tricks of the trade. There's one acting was in particular. I'm like, oh my god. She may be the most efficient member of the Justice League so far. As far as the new characters, you got Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. Out of the 3 of them, my personal favorite is Aquaman. I'm a big fan of Jason Momoa. I like it when he shows up and stuff. And yeah, this movie, when I first heard he was going to be cast as Aquaman, I was like, okay, you know what? This could work. If they take it the way I think they're going to take it, this could work. He's entertaining. He's funny. He's one of those characters, he's having fun with it. As far as Cyborg and the Flash is clearly here just for the comic relief, which can sometimes work. Sometimes it doesn't. He had a couple lines that made me laugh. One in particular, I rolled my eyes so hard they got stuck. And Cyborg, Cyborg was really just there. You can tell he had a bigger role in the earlier stages of the development process, but then they revamped everything, and then he's kind of relegated to a side character. Essentially, he boils down to he's a guy who's part metal who can do things. That's it. That's all you get. You don't really delve into a lot of these backstories, which I don't blame them because that's a lot to cram into this runtime, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And another thing that really worked for me, I talked about the humor a little bit ago. Some of the humor it's actually probably the funniest DCEU movie so far. There are quite a few jokes that made me laugh. Some jokes that felt flat, but hey, that's how it goes. That's how it goes with comedies. You can tell they're trying to lighten it up because a criticism they've had is that movies are so dour and so serious that they want to lighten it up. They want to make these accessible to more people, and I can't fault them for that. Another thing I like in this movie is the action. The action in this movie is actually really fun. It's really fun to watch. You watch it, you have a good time. You're seeing all these superheroes kick ass for the very first time on the big screen. And that's, it's really cool. My favorite part of the movie is when they're just, my favorite part of all these superhero movies is when they're just sitting down and just talking. My favorite scene in the movie has no action in it. It's actually Batman and Wonder Woman just talking about their moral values. I was watching this and I'm like, This is what BVS was missing. Batman v Superman is about the clashing of ideals. They missed that opportunity in that movie, and they're making up for it here. And I thought that was a really good scene. Now let's talk about what I think didn't work in this movie. First of all, the plot of this movie is it's Steppenwolf trying to gather 3 MacGuffins to try and bring the end of the world. Yeah, you've seen it. I watched this movie. I'm like, where have I seen this plot before? Oh yeah, it's Legend of Zelda. Also, speaking of Steppenwolf, a big problem in this movie, it's Steppenwolf himself. Like, who is he? What's his motivation? Who cares? Because the movie certainly doesn't. Seriously, there are times in the movie where I forget he's even here. They'll cut back to him doing something like, oh yeah, that's right. You are a part of this. He's not bad. He's there. If I can describe Steppenwolf in one word, it's weak. That's it. Another problem I have in this movie is that it really has no identity. Does it feel like a Zack Snyder movie? No. Does it feel like a Joss Whedon movie? Also no. You can't tell whose movie this is. It feels like everyone's movie. Which it kind of was, because Zack Snyder directed the original cut, and then WB brought in Joss Whedon to, do reshoots because of a personal tragedy in Zack Snyder's life, which it makes it feel kind of disjointed in tone, and it feels like it's not one person's vision. It feels like a studio movie. You can't see studio notes all over this thing, but it is really jarring to see. Also, you can clearly tell this was cut down from 2.5 hours to fit an under 2-hour runtime. The runtime of this movie is 1 hour and 59 minutes. That makes this the shortest DCEU movie so far. And yeah, apparently Warner Bros. Had a mandate for this runtime. Of all the movies that need more time, it's this one. I wanted to see more of this. I hope they release the full cut on Blu-ray, because I would actually want to see what they cut out. Because there are certain scenes where it just goes here, then it goes here, then it goes here. The transitions aren't always the smoothest, and that's where you see where cuts happened. Another problem in this movie is some of the CG in the movie is just awful. It looks like a video game cutscene. I wanted to bring out the controller and just start playing. Some of it's really good. My favorite CGI effect in this movie, it's the metal on Cyborg's face. Like, that looks practical. It looks real. I really dug that. The rest of his body looks like complete computer, but as far as his face goes, his face really intrigued me. And I know it's a weird sentence, but hey, that's good effects on his face. Everything else just looks like CGI nonsense might meet CGI nonsense. It's really hard to get invested when, first of all, you don't know these characters, so you don't care about this, them in the CGI mess. And second of all, it's just CGI overload to the point where it's just like, oh my god, that's a lot of computer effects. And yeah, there's some things you can't do practically, but when you have this many computer effects in a movie, the ones that are going to stand out more are the bad ones. The third act of this movie, it made me realize something. Every DCE movie so far has had the exact same third act. It's CGI baddie saying CGI baddie things, gonna destroy the world, yada yada yada. It's just like everything you've seen before. Almost everything in this movie is something you've seen before, and most likely seen done better in other films. It's just, I was watching the movie just like, yeah, seen it done better. That's interesting. Seeing that, it just feels, I can't believe I'm saying this word again about Justice League, feels kind of generic. Overall, would I recommend this movie? It's a tricky thing. There's some fun action sequences that I say warrant a theater experience. If you love these characters and you forgave BVS for all its faults, this is not going to be where you draw the line. If you're like me, you get hung up on things like story and computer effects and just filmmaking in general, I think this will fall kind of flat for you. Like, the word I can use to describe this is, it's fine. It doesn't do anything spectacularly great. It doesn't do anything spectacularly awful. It's just fine. So, overall rating, I would give this a middle of the road 5 out of 10. I say go see it for the theater experience. I probably wouldn't see it again out of free will. If a buddy of mine suggested, hey, let's go see Justice League, I'm like, yeah, okay, why not? But as far as me, I probably wouldn't like to watch this again on my own unless I really wanted to see. That's why I really wanted to see Justice League, which is such a disappointment to me because I wanted this movie to be great, and it breaks my heart that it's as big a disappointment as BVS, but yeah, one of the bigger disappointments of the film I've seen probably of all time. I know there's some fans of this movie, and that's fine too. But I will say this: I I heard this quote somewhere, and it's honestly one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard in my life. It's, loving something blindly does not mean you love it more, it means you love it sadder. So that's all I'm going to leave off on you today. So what did you think? Have you seen Justice League? Comment below, like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these reviews in the future, so stay tuned for that. This is Chance saying thank you for watching, and